Welcome back to an episode of Molecular Playground. In this one, I make potassium ethoxide. Potassium ethoxide is a very common organic base used in E2 and SN2 reactions, Claisen condensations, and some ether syntheses. It's commonly made by adding potassium metal to ethanol, but today I'm going to try to make it metal-free. The materials you'll need are ethanol, potassium hydroxide, methanol, and anhydrous sodium carbonate. First thing I'm going to do is pour in 800 milliliters of methanol. Next, I'm going to add 400 grams of potassium hydroxide. This is approximately 7.13 moles of potassium hydroxide. Once it all dissolves, I add 150 grams of sodium carbonate. I stir it vigorously so it sops up all the water. After letting it sit for a day, I notice fine crystals in the solution. I heat it up a bit to dissolve everything before pouring off the alkaline syrup. One thing I noticed was how clumped the sodium carbonate was. It's practically a cake. Many people underestimate its hygroscopic power, but it can absorb a lot of water. I eventually get 800 milliliters of potassium ethanolate. The carbonate cake left is really thick, evidence of decahydrate formation. The small bit of methanolate left is not worth decanting though. I vacuum distill the potassium ethanolate for a while. It slowly thickens from a runny solution to a syrup to something thicker. It gets harder to boil, and the boiling segments get more dramatic. It eventually becomes a wet foam. You can be easily stirred and crushed though. Breaking it up allows for better vacuum efficiency. Once I've gotten it plenty dry, I pour in 300 milliliters of ethanol. As I heat it, it takes on a yellow color that soon turns orange. I get some distillate in the meantime. Later, I find that the mixture had boiled so violently and plugged up everything. I put as much as I can back in before resuming. The solution has now turned a blood red color. I distill without vacuum to kind of drive off the methanol naturally. When the solution struggles to boil, I add 300 more milliliters of ethanol. This makes a strange color gradient. If you know why this is, feel free to comment. Later, it all becomes red again. I boil it naturally to drive off the methanol. As you can see, I've collected quite a bit of what I'm hoping is nearly pure methanol. I can't test it, however, because ethanol and methanol have really close densities, and my distillation head doesn't have a thermometer. It is, however, still touchable, so maybe methanol vapor is majority flowing through there. Prior to vacuuming, I turned the temp down to 3 so I don't have another super boil. I fear I may have turned it down too far when suddenly it starts to boil. Yellow clumps and precipitate occur as free liquid is removed. It eventually turns entirely into this cheesy clod. In time, it dries into an actual block of cheddar cheese. I break it up before I vacuum distill more. When I turn it up to 6, it completely melts back into a red liquid. Vacuuming quickly transformed it back into a yellow sludge, however. In the collecting flask, an ethanol mist surrounds the distillate. Eventually, it hardens into a light yellow foam. It is difficult to pierce with a glass rod, but not impossible. Having said that, I did lose 4 rods. When cooled, I tried to break it up with a titanium rod. While it is very resistant to caustics, just losing its luster after several rounds, the mass is still too tough. I melt it down at a little over 6 on my hot plate. It becomes much more stirrable, and even the stuff on the walls comes down. Then, the accident happened. Right before I started filming, I noticed molten exudate coming out of the flask. I had to work fast, so I wasn't able to film the leak or the emergency cleanup. Long story short, the molten ethoxide ate through my flask and leaked over my hot plate. Luckily, it didn't reach the outlet, which I think was what destroyed my last hot plate, but it was still pretty bad. On the upside, it provided a way to extract at least some potassium ethoxide. All this was collected from my hot plate, by the way. I still had some stuff stuck on the flask, and since there was already a leak, I might as well break it. I collect what I can with my titanium rod and hammer. It helps to break up the chunks to fit in the bottle. This alkali pancake though was completely stuck to the glass. No matter what I did, it clung to it with its life. Oh well, what I got now isn't too bad. Minus bottle, my total yield is 172.5 grams. Now ideally, this should be nearly pure potassium ethoxide. However, since I had that meltdown, it's especially important to test whether my product is usable. Like the methoxide, the first test is to burn it. It actually seems pretty resistant to fire. Little, I'm guessing carbonate bubbles are being exuded instead. I spray it with some water, but I still get nothing. Even with more water, it doesn't burn. This isn't looking good, guys, but maybe it's coated with like a toasted potassium carbonate shell. To see if there's still something usable inside, I'm going to try to perform a Claisen condensation. To start, I fill up a beaker with ethyl acetate. I put in about 100 grams of my base. I seal it so moisture doesn't enter nor the ethyl acetate evaporates. I turn it up to 100 and let it cook. About a day later, nothing really happens. Sure, the solution is colored, but it could have just taken on whatever impurities made the stones orange. I add more ethyl acetate, but it doesn't do much. However, the stones are now brittle enough to be crushed. It takes some time to pulverize them into gravel bits. The solution has taken on a more orange color too. I decant the liquid off, leaving what is probably carbonate chunks. The net weight is around 104 grams, which I suspect is a little increased because there's still some solution left. When I add water, the solution doesn't heat up at all. That means there's no strongly basic substances like an alkoxide or even a hydroxide. The orange solution is mildly basic, but adding salt water and pure salt doesn't cause any separation. Back to my other solution, I add some acid just to see what it does. Those bubbles and frothing tell me what I have is predominantly potassium carbonate. In hindsight, I probably should have stopped here. It was brittle enough to pulverize and evacuate. It probably would have burned too and performed a much better Claisen condensation. At least we all learned something in this uncharted episode.